To be worried with this face-off which is taking place as far as the crude oil supplies are concerned?
Look, I would choose, and I have to choose my words carefully, I wouldn't use the word worry. There's a more apt term, anxiety. Yes, wherever there is tension, when the military situation is in an escalating mode, as indeed the Israel-Iran situation is, where there is apprehension that the devastation which has already been caused could actually multiply, where issues of energy are involved. And that's, I think, the context of our discussion. The fact of the matter is that a fairly large, over 20% of the world's energy consumed every day passes through the Straits of Hormuz. That's a fact. But it is equally true that in the last 50 years, and those 50 years have witnessed several phases of heightened tension, even higher than this, the Straits of Hormuz has never been closed. But if the Straits of Hormuz were to be choked, if, for instance, energy supplies would have to be rerouted, clearly the rerouting would involve higher freight costs. Insurance costs have already gone up quite a bit. But energy doesn't stop flowing. So there are two aspects to this. Would it be in the interest of the countries concerned to close the Straits of Hormuz? Would it be in their interest? The answer is emphatically no. But if the Straits of Hormuz were still to be closed, for whatever reason, then let me come straight to what I think is uppermost in your mind, but you were somewhat hesitant to put that question that directly. Look, Pallavi, India consumes on an average over 5.5 million barrels of crude oil in a day, which goes into a refinery to make several products, etc. Out of this 5.5 million, I think, I don't have the exact figures, precise, but I think upwards of 1.5 million barrels a day or thereabouts, on some days slightly higher, other days 1.5 million, comes through the Straits of Hormuz. But I'm consuming another 4 million also. So a simple mathematics is that wherever I'm getting the 4 million from, I can get another million.
But can you do it at short notice?
Yeah, but I have enough supplies.
So how long do we have the supplies?
Oh, we have more than enough supplies. I mean, if at the back of an envelope, we have 3 weeks at least, and then we can get more. There's no issue there. But we also have domestic production. We also export. So, for instance, to give you an example, there's one country, very large country, I won't name it. We used to import from them 800,000 or 1 million barrels a day. It's come down to 5 lakh barrels a day, 500,000. And there you don't have to go through the Straits of Hormuz. There is a pipeline to the coast, so we can get from there. But we also export. Supposing there is a push comes to shove, we stop exporting.
Petroleum products.
Petroleum products, we consume them. So there is really no need to use the word worry. And even when it comes to anxiety, if you understand the situation as it obtains, and all I can say is with a Prime Minister like the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji just now, he is ahead of the game. We've diversified these sources of supply. We are in constant touch with all the players concerned. And just to say, you were talking about worry, I don't think anybody should lose their sleep on this.
Good you raise the point of diversification, because I remember in the peak of the Russia-Ukraine war or phase or whatever you want to call it, we faced a lot of criticism for getting in Russian oil.
Criticism from whom?
Criticism from the opposition and from many of the world, and the hypocrisy was called. Do you think, on hindsight, it was a smart move because you had an alternative?
It's a very sensible move. I said then, and I repeat now, the Prime Minister's only obligation and duty is, moral duty is to his own citizens. India is a country which has, where the availability of energy in the last 3 years or 5 years has never arisen. Affordability, last 3 years prices have come down. The sustainability, the energy transition is increasing. So I think if you have a leadership which is visionary, far-sighted and able to deliver, you don't have any worry on these accounts. A little anxiety. Well, one thing I want to say, I would get worried if merchant shipping was being hit, as it was during the period when the Houthis were carrying out attacks on the Red Sea. Sometimes I used to get worried. Even when I was a civil servant, I was accredited to the UN in New York, and there were attacks by pirates, etc. Sometimes I used to get worried because, but then we got systems in place, we got other assets from countries in place. Today, oil prices are not peaking. They were prior to the conflict, they were in the 70-75 range. Today they're 76. And I should like to think that wiser counsels will prevail, and the escalating situation will de-escalate, and that everyone will see reason.
Because why I'm asking this, Mr. Puri, is because there's an unfortunate morality tag which is very often attached, which was attached when we were getting Russian oil. So people say, how can you take it from Russia? How can